So what we've got today is the Gibson ES-335 in Tobacco Sunburst, Epiphone Lucille in Ebony, and the Joe Bonamassa 2022 ES-335 reissue. Now, this is a 62 reissue, so it's got a few different small block inlays. It's got a few different appointments, things that were done to his guitar in particular. But this reissue is actually a really good guitar. But Epiphone is $949 with a Epilite case, which is kind of like a hard shell gig bag, or tougher sided gig bag. This one is $12.99, which is $350 more, with a actual hard shell case and several really nice appointments. And then the Gibson ES is anywhere from $2,000 to $3,500 depending on the trim level you get in ES-335. Now, the 335, the Gibson and the Joe Bonamassa share one thing, and that is this little deal right here and the aging that's been done to these lacquer. Now, the 335 doesn't generally come with that. That's something that's specific to this particular one. It was a Demo Shop guitar that had some stuff added to it. So it is a little bit different than a normal 335. But for the most part, you can get a 335 Studio equivalent to the Gibson 335 we have today. So the question is, which one could, because realistically, the Lucille could be had for $949, and then for $150-ish, you can get a hard shell case. It won't be as nice as the one that comes with the Joe Bonamassa, but it will be a Epiphone case. And it has good appointments. The Epiphone cases are actually really nice. And the new ones that are designed for the guitars that are out there right now are really on par with their Gibson counterparts, probably because they're sourced from the same manufacturers. So realistically, what is the tone and what all can you get out of them, and is it really worth $300 more than a Epiphone Lucille, and is it really worth $2,000 more than, or at least $1,500 more than the actual Epiphone Lucille to get a Gibson? Because realistically, buy-in's about $24.99 for a new 335 with similar appointments. So this is just a little playthrough to give you an idea of what the sounds are, how they compare overall. I'll run through some clean tones and probably butcher some single notes. Definitely run through some basic tones in there, and then we'll add a little dirt to it. And everything is going to be set to 10. There's going to be no cheating. When we do use the Lucille, it will be with it in 1 or 4. And the reason is 1 is bypass, so you just get the basic tone that the pickups get. And then 4 is what I think of as kind of your basic B.B. King tone. And that's really kind of what that guitar is supposed to be pointed at anyway. So again, Epiphone Lucille, Joe Bonamassa 335, Gibson ES-335. Let's get going. Starting off on the neck on the Joe Bonamassa here. And clean tones running through the PRS Sanzera 20. swap into the middle now. And the bridge. Let's see what the Lucille does now. All right. Everything at 10 on the neck pickup first. Middle. Bridge. Now, this guitar, of course, has the Veritone switch, which means it has party tricks. It does cool things. So we'll swap it over to position 4, which is the pretty much what people think of as the BB King sound. So, same song or same riff, but this time in position 4. Middle. Bridge. Now, you'll notice keenly that when you swap it to 4, it loses a lot of the bite, though it still has a tone. And when we get into the compression distortion portion, we will discover that it doesn't make nearly as much of a difference. But that's not what we're going to talk about right now. We're talking about the way it is, and the way it is, it loses a lot of its voice. Now let's see what the Gibson can do. All right, so again, we're going to start off in the neck with everything turned to 10. Now, I want to point out that this guitar is, like I say, the Gibson, and it shares a lot of small details with the Joe Bonamassa, like the headstock pieces and the little age looking lacquer that they've added to this. But this particular one is a satin finish, and versus the other two, which are gloss, this one really does have a different feel to it, especially on the neck. It has a great just playability to it that feels fast, and it's really a much better feeling neck than I can do justice. But I still enjoy owning the guitar because I just like the sound. But anyway, so everything at 10, neck pickup first. Middle. Bridge. So I really like the way this guitar plays. I enjoy the way it sounds, and the neck pickup for me really is it's where it's at for me. The bridge pickup sounds good too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but it's got that quack to it that sounds good, but I just like that. But the question really is, next to the Epiphone, is it really twice the guitar? I mean, that's where we're at, is twice the price. So let's just put the Epiphone Joe Bonamassa up next to it, sound-wise. So again, the Joe Bonamassa Epiphone. It would help if I turned it up now, wouldn't it? Neck pickup, everything to 10. So, with that said, throw some dirt on it and see how it does. That's the wrong button. See, that was on the neck pickup, so let's try that similar riff on the middle. And the bridge. And back to the Gibson. In the middle. In the bridge. So, that being said, let's take a gander at what the Lucille sounds like. And finally the bridge. But the party trick happens in number 4. So, a definite loss of tone overall because of the baritone switch, but but it doesn't really make the guitar, I mean, but is it really $350 worth of difference between the Joe Bonamassa and the Lucille? Now, I am keen on the Lucille because I enjoy being able to use the stereo output. So that is something that is specific to the Lucille versus the other two, because they really don't have that option. But at the end of the day, there's a pretty compelling argument for the Joe Bonamassa 335 versus the Gibson. So I'll play a couple more riffs on both of them, but Lucille still is the least expensive of the group and pulls off some pretty nifty deals. And if you just need one guitar to do a lot of tones, this one can do it. And the stereo output really does give it a lot. The ability to separate your front and back pickups out into two different amplifiers. Not everybody has two different amplifiers, but the people that do, you can do some pretty nifty tricks with it, as I've proven before. So I'm going to show some love to the Gibson, and then we'll finish off with the thing that started this all off, which was the Joe Bonamassa. So there you have it. 3 guitars, two of them in a similar price point, one of them in a completely different price point, but all ES style guitars. The Gibson and the Joe Bonamassa share very similar tuners because these are the Epiphone Deluxe versus the Gibson Deluxe on the ES-335 Gibson model. So I will tell you right now, if you are on a budget or if you are looking for a guitar to take out and about, this one is the one to get to be able to take out and use gigging. And if you just really need to have a Gibson to record with, get the Gibson. But this is the one to take out because for half the price, it does all the right moves. It makes all the right sounds. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal. So, all right. Like, comment, subscribe, talk about what you would choose in the comments. Till next time.